Hey, welcome to the Dragon's Den. So Lightning Dragon here is playing the new expansion of Subnautica, and it kind of wants to walk me through it a little bit.
Standalone DLC, but yeah.
Yeah, it's its own story completely, right?
Yeah, it's a brand new story. It takes place after the first game, and you're going back to the planet because Altera, which was the spoilers, I guess, basically is the people you work for. And they realize, hey, this planet has a whole bunch of stuff that we want because it can make us money.
That's kind of how most corporations work.
We are different, but we go together.
This is kind of a post video thing. I'm watching the video that he recorded for me. I haven't really seen much of this game, and so he just wanted to talk about it a little bit, and I'm kind of seeing most of this for the first time.
Yeah, I also went a little bit slower as well. This part, when I first booted the game up, because this is my second time, I was trying to remember, like, what, oh god, the knuckle cracking part here. It was like, I didn't know how to, like, use anything, and it finally, like, yelled at me, like, hey, press the tab button. So, you missed that. And, I went a little bit slower, and, read most of the stuff. I actually found, more things my second time through, as you usually do.
Oh, yeah.
So the base you start off in, I think 90% of it is original, from the first game assets. Obviously, there's a couple new things, but some of them look like just slight tweaks to old things. I was watching someone else play, and they're like, oh man, I love the new doors. And it's like, no, these doors are from the first game. It's really weird to see when someone else plays. And while they put a lot of time and stuff into it, that they miss certain things. It's just kind of like, okay. And now this counter, I think, is new. That coffee pot was in. I mean, almost everything in here is from the first game. And when I first played through, I actually didn't go into this room, and there's another lore thing in here. Yeah. So I spent a bit more time walking through the base and exploring things, and if you leave it up here long enough, everybody else can read it too. Or you can just pause the video.
That's the strategy.
This right here, I know two of them. I think the guy in the middle is the character you played the first time.
I like that.
I when I saw that, I knew I had to get a close-up just for you. Is in Fallout 76 you have
first
that,
cat space.
Yeah. And here's another PDA that I think I missed. Or if I did see it, I just glanced through it, and obviously there's quite a bit more information. In the, what is it, Below Zero, I think is what it is. I don't remember what it's called anymore. There's a space station in a geosynchronous orbit, and you're supposed to be sending like research and other things back, like, hey, I found this alien artifact, and do you send it back? I don't know how much of that is currently in the game, because this is like day one, like day zero, early access. Though there was a small bug that they didn't have the game completely activated, and hey, there's that station that I was talking about. Some of the stuff in here looks new, but it could just be that I didn't see very much. Like this shelf, I don't remember that shelf being in the original game. And some of these things here, that's a bioreactor in the middle. But a lot of them are like not interactable where they would be. And I kind of have a feeling I know why. And I for less amount of spoilers, we'll wait, and then you'll see why I think that. But it also could just be the fact that it's, day one, day zero, and it's been a couple days since the game has dropped, but I don't know if there's been any updates. I don't think there has been. Here's that, send us alien artifacts. We don't care about cultural things.
It really looks like all these posters have been drawn on by crayon.
I think that might be on purpose. Like the inhabitants, like the people at the base are drawing on it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They're kind of mocking them.
A little storage place. Some of these things in the greenhouse I think are new. This window thing is definitely new. That was not in the original game. But these ivy walls, they were in there. These trees, these are trees that they were bulb trees. They just don't have fruit on them. But the standing planters, I think those are new. But I can't interact with any of them, so I don't know if it's just because it's the first base, or if it's something that you'll be able to mess with later. And you get to see the prawn suits right away, though both of them are broken for some reason. I didn't see anything of why they'd be broken. I don't know how they could have got broken.
Hi, Sam.
And here we
Lost
get voice
contact with
acting.
Jeffries up at the research site.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Understood?
You know, the formal bit's cute, but we've shared a room. Would it kill your career to act like we'd met before?
Robin, you know these conversations are monitored.
I don't care who knows it's cute. I've been here 2 weeks, we've hardly spoken.
Because you went straight to the planet.
So everything you've seen so
Find
far
Jeffries,
are things
chat
that basically
later.
you can eventually build,
Yes,
right?
Mom.
Yeah. Some of these things, like these boxes, I think they're just like decoration and things. But as far as like the base and all that, I would assume later on in the game, when you are able to build your own base, every single thing you've seen should be able to be built. Maybe some of them might be a little bit different, but I haven't seen any building stuff in the game yet. I haven't seen any other video showing people building, so that might not be in the game yet. I can't imagine they would not have it at all, because that was a really big like point of the game in the original game, the first game, I guess, because this is kind of an expansion, more of a sequel.
Yeah,
So I think it's more of like Subnautica 2.
the Subnautica King.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, and also, before I forget here, I need to go and run over. You should remember this part from when I did a small little preview.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I think it's one of the only parts I do remember, the few minutes I got to see it. You're a jerk. And that's true in the original few minutes of playthrough, and it's true now, and it'll be true always.
Yeah, I remember that was there, because I actually got lost the first time I was playing. And these plants up here actually burned me when I was walking by. And I don't think it's in the game yet, but I really do think, after playing for a while, that managing your heat, your temperature, is going to be in the game. Because these plants are hot, so you could, in theory, walk up to them and warm up. I believe there was text in the game talking about a thermal suit. And they also had, there's coffee you can drink, and the coffee has a heat value on it. It actually lowers your O2, your water, your thirst, but it makes you warmer. So you can drink coffee to warm up, but it makes you thirsty.
I really like the color palette on this one. They've done a good job at, adding a lot more color to the game. The game before had a lot of color, but what they've done with they've added the above ground and kept it to the same kind of quality they have for the oceans. It's stylistic. I like stylistic games, the ones that just kind of go for an art. Like, for example, Borderlands 2. Those kind of games always appeal to me, and they appeal to me for years after all the graphics are gone to the next gen.
Yeah, they definitely have their own theme. This coffee machine doesn't work, but I do
That's
find
it. I'm
a
not
working
buying this
one
game.
later. Well, there is working ones later.
Okay, well then it's redeemed a little bit.
And here comes another bit of voice acting.
How'd you know my name? I come in peace. Sam, the building just powered up. It spoke to me.
Are you safe? It's never done that before.
I'm fine. No sign of Jeffries.
I've got an electrical storm on the sensors.
I think it's already here.
That cabin isn't stable. I want you to get back to...
Sam? Damn it!
There actually wasn't a lot of voice acting for the first game. There was a very small amount. So I'm not sure how everybody else feels. I think as far as I can tell, most people are fine with the voice acting. I believe some of it might still be like rehearsal voice acting. And I actually found a part that had no voice acting, but it did have the subtitles. All of a sudden, I had subtitles on the bottom of the screen, like, hey, what the heck's going on? Why do I have subtitles? And I actually sequence broke the story in my exploration. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just wandering around. Oh, and here we try every single possible code.
Oh, goody, that's only 10,000 possible combinations. This is going to be a long video. Oh, wait a minute, there's no 0, so never mind, it's not quite that many.
Yeah.
It's odd, there's no 0.
Well, just, you know.
You're really trying to make this video as long as possible, aren't you?
Well, I was thinking as a joke, you could edit it and make it worth like 100 years later. I'm assuming I find the code to that later, but I haven't. I have seen another video posted. Landslide? I have seen another video posted that apparently got past where I am in my story, and I actually didn't watch the video because of that. I kind of wanted to discover it myself. But I haven't had any hints or clues. I've played for a couple hours after this story bit, and it's just nothing. I found a lot of possibly placeholder terrain and maybe some spawning glitches and bugs, but as far as story, nothing.
Now, from what you played so far, do you think that for people who like the original, that it's definitely worth picking up?
It's basically Subnautica 2 Electric Boogaloo, you know, it's just more Subnautica. I think this one, when they get all the mechanics in, like as far as like heat management, cold management, all that kind of stuff, I think it might actually be harder than the original one. But it could be one of those things where it's difficult at the start trying to keep your heat up, but once you get, you know, a thermal suit or whatever, it doesn't become as difficult, which is what I would hope. So it may be a harder beginning, and there goes the base. And there goes the antenna. So that's partly why I think you couldn't interact with anything at the base, because the base gets destroyed. So I don't know why you'd put all that effort into being able to mess with it if it just breaks. Now, one thing that always bothers me when I'm playing is the character doesn't have any gloves on. You know how cold your hands would be in this water? I mean, they have little flipper boots on. They technically they do have face mask. I don't know how big the mask is, but no gloves in an Arctic environment. That's just asking for your hands to get freaking frozen off. And obviously, we have plenty more to read here. You can skip through and pause when you need it. Now, this is the second time going through here, and I didn't know about it the first time, but this plant here is actually an oxygen plant. So you can walk up to it and bloop, replenish your oxygen. Though you don't need to, because I believe right around the corner there's a little air pocket. So obviously they thought this through. If you're exploring, well, shouldn't have a problem. And there's also a rock outpost. I saw it when I was going down, and then I spend the next 20 minutes trying to find it. Not really.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't notice that, so. Now we're out in big, huge ocean, and I believe we will get the last bit of dialogue that I have heard in the game. There's a massive, massive storm going on. One that I guess caused the avalanche. And these actually happen quite a lot, just at random in the game, so it's not purely for story reasons. These do happen a lot, so they may have other effects besides just being really dark and spooky. Because you can hear them while you're underwater. You hear all the thunder and stuff, and
Robin, come in.
well, it scares the crap out of me.
I'm out in open water.
Stay where you are. I'm sending a rescue shuttle.
No, I'm okay. I just need shelter.
Fine, I'm sending a temporary habitat instead. Look up.
Thank you, Sam.
Call me when you get there.
There you can see the Vesper station and a parachute, which is the little habitat module. In the first game, you had an escape pod, and there was some water and some really, really basic necessities. But in this one, you start with nothing, absolutely nothing, which again makes it so the start is actually quite a bit harder, I think. Recipes have changed a little bit for the crafting stuff, which is fine. I mean, it's not like they have to keep the same formula and method every single time. And that's pretty much it for the opening. We probably will have another little episode with us just looking around, because there were some funny things that I saw and did, but that does it for the story mode here, at least from what I've seen.
New blueprint acquired.
Sam, I'm at the habitat. Any word on Jeffries?
Nothing yet.
And the facility? It said my name. I need to know why.
I know. Make something to eat. Get equipped. I'll have answers by then.
Will do.
Alright guys, well I just wanted to go ahead and let Lighting take you through the opening of the new expansion, or sequel to Subnautica, and let you take a look at it. Thanks for giving us a tour, Lightning.
Yeah,